Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. I regret to report that both our Jedi Order and the Republic have fallen, with the dark shadow of the Empire rising to take their place. This message is a warning and a reminder for any surviving Jedi. Trust in the Force.
They've outgrown their age of rebellion, dulled the Empire's edge, defeated Imperial generals and the Pirate Queen's dredge. They've been soldiers and scoundrels, what's there left to be? How about lost acolytes looking for their force and destiny? There's a seer, hermit, investigator, and teacher. Better watch your back or a vibe or ring's gonna reach you. Will this team find the light or will darkness win the day? Find out with the heroes of the Hydian Way.
Previously on Heroes of the Hydian Way, the new crew of the Silvered Shell began an adventure in which they were hunting the lost crystals of Suljo Ward Talokron. The first was on Arbaween, and the second brought them to the city of Jaro on Cato Nemoidia. Before they could make a move on the crystal, they had to make connections, and before connections, they needed work. In the Undercity, they reclaimed the memories of an old man's past. In the shadowed byways of the Above City, they ran interference with an overzealous gang member and a stray pup. Back at the cantina, they're looking for their next lead. Join them this week as they continue making new friends.
Welcome to Heroes of the Hydian Way. This is a Star Wars actual play podcast, and we're playing in Fantasy Flight Games' Force and Destiny system, using the Chronicles of the Gatekeeper adventure as developed by Tim Cox and Max Brook. This is Act 2, Episode 10, and I'm Ben, the GM for this adventure.
I'm Koba, the Doug Investigator. At least I am now. I've had a few aliases, but don't ask. It'll get confusing if I tell you all of my aliases. Speaking of aliases, hey, Hillary, how many aliases have you had?
You might be surprised to know that, officially, none. I dabbled with some other names, but they never stuck, so I'm just Hillary, Lord High Lord Hillary Alaric of the Flying Alarics. You know, it works. It works for me. I'm a teacher, consul teacher? I don't know. I am who I am.
Well, I want to encourage you to maybe think of an alias just in case. Back. You don't have to tell me now, just,
Kit Starfinder. Smuggler extraordinaire.
I'm Kesh, the Trandoshan Mystic Seer, and I had to go looking up in campaign notes from a past game, but apparently I've once been Kryn for Starbreeze and Smith. Law for it. It's okay. Other than that, I can't really think of any aliases. I mean, Skip keeps calling me a wizard.
Hey, well, I mean, it rhymes with lizard, so that's just, extra good.
Oh, are you trying to write poetry about me?
I wasn't before right now.
Okay.
I'm intrigued.
Gosh, I thought one of your aliases was Frank.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that that more recent alias. So yes, I've also been Frank.
Is that an alias, or is that a nickname? What's the
Where is
difference
the line
between an alias
drawn?
and a nickname?
Yeah.
Aliases are nicknames that save your life.
Oh, all right. Then I've never had any aliases. Then I guess I've had nicknames because I definitely know back home was like, oh hey, the annoying one, that sort of thing. But guess I'm just regular old Skip.
I believe you are also Skipapa.
And Skippington, I think, has been mentioned.
Yes, well, that's also a nickname, right? Because I don't think that hasn't saved my life yet.
We'll work on that, Skip.
There's still time.
Daring do and wacky hijinks.
Skippington the Bold.
I like it. Yes. I can see it now. What a brilliant playbill it will make.
To get to know our characters, we usually get one to ask another a question. But this is an episode that comes out on approximately the 4th anniversary of Heroes becoming a thing.
Woohoo!
So, because of that, I'm now asking our players a question, which is, what is one fun or happy thing that you've been a part of with Heroes?
I made everybody jump out of a starship at one point.
Does that count as fun or happy?
It was for me.
I mean, it was certainly a really memorable scene. Like that's one of those big set pieces from series 2 that sticks with me. Not just because I'm the one who, got punched by a monkey and almost died.
Monkeys!
Oh, monkeys.
That was definitely that I think something that solidified this as being something that was going to turn into something really great. I think I can even remember just like exactly where I was in that moment because I was house sitting, and so I had to trek my entire desktop computer to a different person's house to record that episode, and I was in this unfamiliar office, and then that scene happened. My goodness.
Yeah. Really, that whole first act of Mask of the Pirate Queen is really memorable to me, because I also thought about the diner scene and the hijinks there.
Fire suppression systems.
Yeah. And how all of that went down.
Well, and the pawn shop, too.
Foam grenades and souvenirs.
I suppose for me, not in-game moments. Definitely getting to hang out with Christine and Leslie at PAX Unplugged in 2019.
Oh my
where
goodness.
we snuck off into that quiet little alcove and that baby chewed on the little stuffed 3B.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a nice little chunk of time.
Yeah. It's been really nice whenever we've been able to get multiple heroes in the same space for a while, because I also remember when Brandon paid us a visit, and we had Brandon, Leslie, and I, since Leslie and I do live close together, just being able to hang out, and we had those pictures taken that you then were like drawing all over, Ren.
Oh yeah, because I hadn't technically been announced as being part of the cast yet, and so I just was trying to be enthusiastic but not look like a creepy rabid fan on the side that was like overstepping bounds, but at the same time finger painting with the little app on the iPhone. I drew like a terrible Vurin into that scene and drew over all of you with your character's features. Deliberately didn't include Vestrano because nobody knew about him yet. Speaking of Vurin, I will say that there are so many aspects of this game that have encroached pleasantly into my life. I suppose I'd be remiss not to mention that I think Brandon's pretty cool. But we play Final Fantasy online sometimes, and we go to the Golden Saucer, and the arcade funny money that they have there is like MGD or something like that. It's like you gained 14 MGD for playing that game. But immediately I was like, nope, they're MDPs, they're Mr. David Pickerings. And we have not called them anything other than Davids or Pickerings since.
Nice.
I think Pickering is a great currency name.
It really is.
I need to put writing that down somewhere. There you go, MDP. You're coming back for something.
I also, I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Chris and Brent, who were part of the show for Series 1. I will probably have Matu's sword speech, at least roughly, in my head for the rest of my life. Because one, he said it a lot, and two, it was so iconic.
It is.
And I remember being floored by the change from TV 93 to AMP. And that was a very memorable episode that just nobody quite saw coming to that degree. So I remember having a lot of fun with that.
And then all of the bad pickup lines subsequently.
So many bad pickup lines.
Oh, they're beautiful. I love that we could balance the epic with the ridiculous. So we have Matu jumping through space, and landing hero style. We have us jumping out of a perfectly good spaceship, almost to our deaths.
Well, wait a minute.
Hillary?
So when are we going to jump in Series 3?
Hey, to be fair, Hillary and Koba already have, and Hillary got to negate the fall damage. Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, now you're just rubbing it in.
Yeah, it went way better.
Oh, smug face. Up one side and down the other, bud.
I'm prepped for fall damage. I have a skill for that. Like, I learned my lesson.
Well,
Are you a
I
monk?
didn't.
I didn't. I got
But
to
I think
set things
Cash
on
probably
fire.
could twist enhance into that now.
Maybe. That's something where if I'm ever in that situation and I have far enough to fall, I'm definitely going to try something with either enhance and or move in some kind of panic.
Cash falls off the bottom of the city. Then we see Mothra come by.
See,
Yep.
I'm picturing
Anyway.
Skip with Alter.
Mm,
Fall damage, not today. Suddenly there's land beneath Skip.
Well, there's that, but I also, before I took any force skills, I took conditioned, like several ranks of it, because that negates a certain amount of fall damage, and something now deeply ingrained in me was like, yes, you want that.
Fall damage is bad. See, I just thought Skip was dreamy, so I didn't realize Skip was fit.
What about you, Ben? Sorry, I always got to turn it around on you.
yeah, and it's always fair. It's just I always am still caught by surprise. Actually able to be pulling off some of these pretty epic scenes, like with the rock in the jungle of Act 1, the giant lobster thing, or doing the huge jump in Dead in the Water, and some of the things that I've got planned. Like, I know that because of Yell, that these things are going to turn out pretty impressive. Just I've got no idea how, and that's the part that excites me.
You have facilitated so many amazing moments, Ben. And you've made it work in the context of the story. You've given me a freedom and you've brought it back around, and it's brilliant. And I thank you for that.
Thank you.
I just want to give a we're a team speech right now, but my brain is too fuzzy to do it. So I'm just going to go with, we're a team.
Did Brandon say anything in that question?
Everybody stare at Brandon.
Yes, I liked making everybody jump out of a ship.
Yeah, I thought Brandon started it all.
For some reason, I thought that was Christine. I don't know.
Well,
No, I talk a lot, but I didn't say everything.
We all know how much Christine loves her characters coming to grievous bodily harm.
Hey,
I mean,
that's great.
Why else would Cash have?
I mean, how many
Yeah,
times?
I mean, I say that knowing that that's not actually.
Yeah,
all that
that's because
inaccurate.
of Brandon.
Well, yeah, some GM has to run something.
Yeah.
How many times did Cav go down?
How many times did Cav go down?
Mm-hmm. Never stayed down.
3.
Okay. Refresh my memory. I'm pretty sure Cav did not go down in Trouble Brewing, right?
No.
Okay. So then we have Cav got shot, I think in the street fight was the first time. Cav fell and went unconscious. Cav got shot in the elevator and went unconscious. All in the same act.
Yeah.
I don't know that Cav went down again after. No, did I?
No, in Act 3, Cav went down.
Okay, so then the count might be 4?
4 sounds about right.
Total, because to be fair, they were in a lot of them were in close proximity to one another. But after that, you all did a good job of protecting Cav. Like, I remember the Savrip fight. Where, the first Savrip fight, where, everybody was trying to protect Cav, and Cav was then trying to run away, or I didn't die, I just lost, 11 of my 12 wounds in one hit. And then, and I also got, I think, hurt during the second Savrip fight, but again, did not go down.
I don't have any love for Savrips. Just gonna say that.
No.
I'm figuring that the camera is going to be like a little waiter droid on account of everything in Star Wars is droids, not just like a little bot thing. The camera comes up and it's the vision of this droid that's sitting in the middle of a bar table. It's a relatively large bar table that seems to be a circle, and it points at Koba. Then it turns, points at Skip, turns, points at Hillary as it pans down slightly, turns and points at Kesh, and you see their faces, but in behind this sort of fog, And then as the droid continues to go between the different heroes, you get more and more of the bar filling in. And that's when the noise of the bar pops up. You can hear things a lot more. And then very shortly, we are now at a table with the heroes sitting there with Cadu reps in front of them, severing brandy in a snifter next to it, and a somewhat lively drop view cantina going on around them as the heroes seem to return to reality from the force vision that they had. Or was it a force vision? Who's to say?
I don't know. Was there a gas leak?
I'm going on no.
Probably a force vision,
You mean
then.
the force vision? You mean the question session?
Yes.
Conflict episode, yes.
Okay.
The episode of mass delusion, which has struck again.
People just sort of like close their eyes and sort of shake their head a little bit. Wait a minute. What was I talking about? Sorry, I think I just spaced out there for a moment.
Kesh breathes in and then out. Is going to reach. You said there's brandies and stuff on our table?
Yeah, there's some Severine brandy and Cadu wraps in front of you.
I'm going to take one of the brandies and just, take a nice long sip off of it. Sort of help steady myself.
Skip, as mentioned last time, has a very colorful drink with an umbrella and just returns to that.
Well, if we're done playing with numbers, aren't we here to meet someone, Koba?
Probably. It's been a long time since we arranged this meet.
Or has it? Everything's very fuzzy with this whole passage of time.
I genuinely don't recall, so if somebody does recall, fill me in, please.
We are here to meet with one of Koba's contacts, Phileas. But we're still looking for work, and we're looking for the leads on the Kyber crystal. I forget, have we met Phileas before?
Yes.
Only Brandon, or Koba.
Okay, so that's the person we got the lead to the Nemoidian from before.
Yeah.
Okay.
The rest of us stayed at the bar while Koba was talking.
All right.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And got our fruity drinks.
I just considered the menu, but yes. I have a drink this time. It's, of course, a doctored calf.
I mean, there are many ways to doctor the calf, so sure.
I mean, there is brandy on the table, right?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So, yeah, the Nemoidian who Koba had last met up with, who put you on the path of Ketu Jarrow, and the Nemoidian who was horning in on White Scar spice dealing. He is sitting there in his usual booth with the pretty majestic outside, where it's pretty much mountains and mist that you can see from the drop view, glassed enclosure. Where you are and where he's at is pretty much like a normal bar, and then there's levels below that are off the side of the bridge city that allow you to just see out into the mist and see if there's anything down there. But the top level where you're at, one of the walls is taken over almost entirely by Clone Wars relics of like smashed battle droids, a bit of clone armor, deactivated weapons, things along that lines.
Koba will glance around to make sure nobody is, like, very obviously keeping an eye on the group. He's probably a little on edge from the forcey, visiony whatever that just happened. Then heads over to where Phileas is sitting. We did the job. Got anything else?
So I hear.
Look, I'd really like to find what we're looking for and get off this planet as fast as possible, so anything else you've got for me, I'll take.
Well, it sounds like you did a pretty good job down there. And once you make your way back up top, it seems like word about the four of you have gotten around a bit. I think a lead might have actually shown up now. in the scheme of things, a younger woman who has a bit of knowledge about Ward, since you had asked after him. She was around the Republic headquarters a bit, and was, I guess you could call that a friend of Ward. The more minty might be a better term. Tika Dalkin would be pretty open to meeting with the four of you if you were wanting.
How do we get in touch with her?
He'll put a card down he'll take a card from inside his jacket, place it down on the tabletop, and slide it over with one finger. Well, yeah. You see, if you use these directions and call this frequency, you can find her. But I don't really want to be saying too much out loud, because you never know who might be listening.
Koba nods. It's probably not an all that uncommon thing to encounter with the type that he knows. He'll slide the card over and stick it in his vest and head back over towards the rest of the group. We might have something. Another of Ward's students.
Hopefully more stable than the last one.
Doesn't sound like she wants to be found, at least. I don't know if that's better or worse.
Well, a lead is a lead. How far?
Koba will glance at the directions on the card.
The directions look to be for a particular apartment building in the residential sector.
Is that nearby, relatively speaking?
It's pretty close by train. It's on the other side of the commercial district.
Not too far. We'll just have to hop a train and take a lift.
Well, that's fun. I haven't got to ride on a train in a long time.
All right. Everybody, finish your drinks. And Kesh will follow suit.
Are we gonna go do this immediately, or are we gonna go get some rest?
Maybe clean up a bit? I don't know if you've noticed, but we're a little, less than tidy, I think, is a phrase I could use. He makes eye contact with Koba and just pats one of his own shoulders, and there's a little cloud of dust. I don't know what kind of impressions we want to make, but perhaps cleanliness should be considered.
Sounds like people know we're here. I don't know how long we should stay.
Perhaps you make a point.
There's also the matter with the spice dealers. I'd rather not delay too much. If we do need to go back to the ship to clean up, I'd rather not wait till the next day to come back out again.
I suppose this is more of a Ben clarify now. Around what time of day is it, and how much time has passed that we've been messing around down here?
You initially showed up at the bar pretty much as it opened, call it 10 o'clock in the morning. You've been going off on the wild adventure in the Undercity for most of the day. I'd put it at like 8 o'clock right now, p.m.
So if we're going to get something else done, it's probably going to be the last thing we do for this day.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. That's fine.
You could probably do something today as sort of like the last thing at night. The sun looks like it's starting to set. If you're wanting to, you totally can, or if you're wanting to overnight in the ship, that is most likely a safe thing to do.
You know, we're not really talking about the third option.
Splitting up?
Is the third option we go back to the ship and get some rest, and then you pull Detective Koba and go investigating things on your own? And then maybe one of us sneaks around after you and sees what you get up to, because that sounds really interesting. I'm not saying that's me or anything.
Are you volunteering there, Skip?
I think I'm more just writing another story or something, apparently.
Noted.
First
Koba?
What do you think the third option is, Koba?
We take our ship and we get as far from this planet as we can.
Ah. Yes.
We haven't gotten what we came here for. Why would we do that?
Why are we even trying to get this thing? Because some ghost told us to, and now we're seeing, I don't know, bartenders who want to interrogate us about every little thing we've done. We're not getting answers here, we're just getting more questions.
We are in the pursuit of knowledge, and sometimes the questions are a lot more important than the answers, Koba.
Don't you think I know that?
I don't know. It doesn't sound right now like you do.
Sometimes you have to know which questions aren't worth getting answers to.
I think maybe Hillary and Skip are giving each other the "they're fighting again" look across the table.
Skip looks at Hillary with the "they're fighting again" look, and Hillary looks at Skip like, "Yep, they are." And sips the coffee like, "At least I get to keep enjoying my drink."
If you want to take the ship and leave, Koba, do it. I'm not going until I have the crystal.
I think perhaps I understand both directions. I personally lean toward the completion of the mission because I feel that with more of the crystals, we'll understand at least the box we've been given more. But also something about that other one that we met. The man with the beard in the shadows on the planet that was not a planet. I don't want to leave things at large with that figure looking for them. He made points to consider about not doing it or about doing things differently or using our gifts differently, but I think that he represents something about which we should all be concerned. And if that means foregoing a shower, for now, I say let's go get the questions asked and maybe increase our efficiency for the evening and the day.
Skip will sit up straighter. Hillary's right. We don't need rest. This is a what's the word? Cough. It's a big long C word that means that not everyone gets what they want. But
Compromise.
I don't know if that's it.
Conference?
All right. So,
Conjunction.
maybe? Anyway. Koba, you want to go. I kind of also want to go. Kesh, you want answers. Why don't we, as quick as we can, and maybe stop talking about it quite so loud in the middle of a bar, go ask her the questions, and then we get back on the ship tonight and go.
I'm not about to let you three go to this rendezvous / probable trap on your own. I may not necessarily think it's a good idea, but if and when something goes very wrong, you're going to need me.
Why do you think it might be a trap? Don't you trust Phineas?
Because Koba thinks everything might be a trap, and that's why he's lived so long?
Right now, I don't think we know enough about any of the intentions of anyone that we're working with or for. That includes Ward.
This quest wouldn't have been put in front of us for no reason, but there's no reason why we shouldn't be cautious. Is there some way we can attend this meeting but keep a close eye out for problems? Hold something in reserve, as it were?
No, better just to be straightforward about it. Just keep an eye out.
Oh, I'm good at that.
2 eyes, as often as she can spare them.
Hey, Koba,
What?
can I talk to you?
You are talking to me, Skip.
I mean, in private?
Sure. We'll meet you two outside.
As in, are we going outside or you're going outside?
We'll go outside.
Oh, okay, then I guess we'll meet you out there. Do you want to shout back in when you're done? No. Hillary and I will go outside. You just come out when you're done. That'll be much easier.
That seems to make more sense. Yeah, we'll go
Okay,
outside,
yes.
and you
Hey,
talk
I'm
here.
not the planner.
Okay.
And this is why I'm concerned about traps.
Yes.
Skip is also trying their very best to give Kesh and Hillary a look of no offense. But it probably just looks like Skip is just screwing up their face really strangely.
Skip,
You
I
know
believe
what?
there is a refresher you should use before we depart. Okay? Everybody void when we have the opportunity. And Hillary hops down.
Come on,
and heads
Hillary.
to the
Let's go
door.
have our own sidebar.
Outside the bar.
An outside bar?
Yes. I'm going to stand
Okay.
away from the railing, I think.
All right, and we leave.
Koba,
Skip.
if you want to leave, you can. Alright, you're giving me a funny look. Look. A lot of you kind of on me sometimes about how, I don't know, I don't have much of a story, and now I'm suddenly hanging out with all of you, and it's weird. And where I come from, people didn't really like me all that much. I was kind of really annoying, and people would pull me aside and be like, "Hey kid, you're really annoying, maybe you should stop." And so then I stopped for a long time. I tried to not talk and be really reserved. And then people told me, "Hey, that's really annoying. You don't talk a lot. You're really shy, and that's off-putting." And so then I tried to change some more. And then I realized that I didn't know who I was anymore. And it was just a bunch of people who I didn't like all that much and who were kind of mean to me. And I left. And I decided that I was never going to try to change myself or be who I didn't want to be for people who didn't respect me and who didn't. I don't know if that makes any sense. The point is, you shouldn't waste yourself on things that you don't like and people that you don't get along with. And I feel like you maybe have some sort of responsibility feeling towards us or something, but I definitely don't feel like you really like us all that much, so maybe you should just go, and that might make you happier. And I'll miss you. I think we'll miss you because I think that we do like you, but maybe if that would make you happier, you're allowed to be selfish about your own happiness.
I'm not going anywhere. Look. I've seen a lot of things go south. I've seen a lot of best intentions turn bad. I've seen a lot of people in this galaxy find that way to convince others to do their dirty work and believe they are the heroes while they do it. I have a bad feeling that what we're doing is going to turn very dangerous very soon. And I'm not sure that any of us are going to come out on top. It's not my skin I'm worried about. We've got a crystal to find, and then after that we'll figure out what happens next.
So you're saying you're staying.
Yes.
So you're saying you like us.
So, Kesh, the word we were trying to find, circumlocution? Cantilever.
What? Sorry,
Skip
Hillary.
was
I
looking
wasn't
for a
thinking
C
about
word.
words.
That's all I think about. Well, not all I think about.
What was I too harsh in there?
Upon whom?
I'm Koba.
No. No, if anyone can take it in this group, it's probably Skip and Koba. I myself am a delicate flower.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to do this whole being more open-minded thing, but it's hard.
I can appreciate that.
I'm assuming by about this point, Skip and Koba have made their way out.
Yep, probably.
After the long pause where Koba refuses to answer that last question and Skip finally gives up and walks away.
When Skip emerges from the Dropview Cantina, Hillary will look at Skip and go, I know it's not right, but I've always liked the word cantilever.
You know, I want to like them, but the texture's all weird.
Quite. Koba, where are we going?
As that question is asked, there is a moderately tall human that peels himself off of leaning on the outside of the Dropview Cantina. He strides very confidently up to the four of you, mostly angling towards Hillary and Kesh since they've been out there the longest, and Koba and Skip are getting towards him. So, excuse me, I believe I need to talk to the four of you. I'm Carl. No, you probably should call me Inquisitor Carl, and you can see him in this darkish gray, probably nerfied duster or officer's coat. And on the collar, you can see little Imperial rondelles.
So we do recognize the Imperial insignia. Do we know what an Inquisitor is? Like that's got to be pretty obscure information, right?
Should we make a roll to see?
Yeah, I'm going to go with it's a relatively obscure thing. I could go with probably a streetwise or a lore thing.
I will roll a lore thing.
I could try a lore as well.
I'll roll streetwise. I don't even have to talk the talk for it, apparently.
What's the difficulty, my dear?
I will go with it will be a red, a purple, and a setback. Skills.
Probably very little chance of my.
And we're rolling individually?
Yes!
Yes.
Yes!
Okay. Good job,
Boy.
Leslie.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Okay, well now I have
Nope.
to roll.
Yeah,
Yes,
you have
no,
to
you
roll.
have to
See if
roll.
you're the only person who knows. Any chance I could use those advantages to recover some strain since we
Why
never
did
we never did a discipline or cool check?
Yes. Yes, you can.
I'll do the same. 'Cause,
I will too.
So no, all of us are like, yeah, Inquisitor is a title, I guess.
I mean, that seems like
Okay,
a silly
For
title
the listeners, what has just happened?
Is he like a reporter?
All of us have failed.
I failed
Hillary, failed with a
spectacularly.
despair
And some advantage.
and some
Well,
advantages.
and the sad thing that, like, all of us had pretty good dice pools.
Yeah, nothing was terrible except the
This
rolls.
is
This was
This is
not
just,
a nobody's good at this skill situation.
Oh, also, listeners, since I forgot my job yet again, we have 4 light side points and 1 dark side point in the pool because we might need them soon. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I still have one advantage that was not put toward strain, so
Okay.
I'm not bothered by his presence, or I know that he should bother me that I don't know what he is. I don't know.
You know what it is? You can't see the Imperial insignia from your perspective.
Hey, Imperial insignia is pretty specific, okay? I'm not that blind.
I mean, you are that short.
The outfit is just pure Imperial officer.
All
Like-
straight lines.
Yeah, I really don't think that there's a way of really not recognizing this as this is an Imperial, this is an officer.
Hey, I
Gotcha.
might be short, but he's got those Imperial gleaming boots.
Exactly.
So there. Oh my god.
All four of us. How?
So, Carl, what do you need to talk to us about?
I had an inkling that you were going to be here about this time. It took me a bit of time to get here from Comnor, but something told me that I was needing to get here and try and talk to you before anything truly horrible got in the mechanisms that would happen for a group of people such as you. The same thing that told me that I need to be here right about now to talk to you. It told me that you came into possession of a... what was it? Small cube holocron, that's it. And it's...
Carl, we're just tourists here on Cato Nemoidia. You're saying a lot of words I don't understand. Cash kind of looks over her shoulder. Have Koba and Skip joined us yet?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
We made the rolls, so we must have.
The four of you meeting up was the trigger for him to actually come over.
Okay. I think Cash still looks over her shoulder, sort of double checking that they're all there.
Something wrong with tourism?
Lifeblood of community.
Oh, tourism is a great thing. And, well, you see, it's part of my job to recover artifacts, and definitely dangerous artifacts. Dangerous artifacts that might get into the wrong hands and cause issues for local commanders or such like. So, through methods, I came to a conclusion that I need to be here to try and discuss with you possibly taking this holocron off of your hands and letting you just go on with your touristic life.
We're not really museum types. I don't think you have the right people.
Skip is going to kind of fumble their way into this conversation. You know, I really like collecting things too. I found, and then starts pulling junk out of their pockets. I found these really interesting nails, actually down there, and then, oh, well, you know, there's a scone, you don't want that. And then just junk.
I'll take the scone from, as you're going through, you see there's a scone, you don't want that. I'll just hold my hand out and I'll take the scone.
You take a scone, one scone goes in Skip's mouth. All right, and then I found this piece of fabric on this other planet, and then just right here, you know, and then that kind of artifact.
Oh, thank you, no. What I'm currently looking for is a holocron and holds up his hands with the approximate dimensions of the cube that you've seen. I'm also getting the feeling that there should be...
Oh, okay, hold on. I might know what a holocorn is, and then pulls out like a little jewelry box that Skip has had at the very bottom of the bag, and just pulls that out, and it's just trying to kind of overwhelm this guy with junk.
You can see nothing that you're doing is offending him whatsoever. It's just more like, oh, this is not an approach I've ever seen before. This is pretty novel. I'm enjoying this. Oh, yes. No, I thank you for... No, that is not any of the things that I'm looking for. I do appreciate you looking through what you have on you right now. I am somewhat certain that the four of you would know. If you do find it again, this holocron, or the... crystals. I think there was 4 of them, 3, somewhere between 2 and 4 of them. And
What, like quartz?
Now, why would there only be 4 if there are 6 sides to a cube?
That's a good point.
I think I might have something kind of like a crystal in this jewelry box. I think it's maybe costume jewelry, but there could be some value to it.
It's probably
continues
taste.
trying this pathetic subterfuge.
I'm enjoying it. I'm also enjoying the idea that you would have had to pull out the wrapping paper that you've salvaged.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Ben.
Yo.
Ooh.
What does it look like? Is there any outward effects when Cash uses Ward's foresight to her knowledge? Because I failed my check to know what an Inquisitor is. She might not realize this could be a bad idea.
I'm picturing Sean from Psych.
I'm going to go with glowy eyes. It kind of feels like it would be a glowy eyes, because it's almost like hollow projectors are going over your eyes and you're seeing what's going on ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm coming up with.
Does Cash know her eyes glow when that happens?
I feel like that's something we would not have kept from her.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the rest of the group would have seen it at least once, probably thrice. But I know at least in the shop on Arboline that everyone else saw it.
Also, since we are sort of at a slight aside at this point, Skip would also, while they're trying to put on this show, be occasionally trying to catch Koba's eyes or Kesh's eyes or something to indicate, if you all want to start something, this is the distraction.
Yeah, Koba's been thinking.
Yeah, I think while the distraction's going on, Kesh will awards foresight.
Okay.
And sees Koba hit this guy.
Sees this guy helicopter around.
Oh, no.
Ah!
Jeez.
Well, that's 5 dark side pips.
Use all of them.
Wow.
I think I'm not going to use them. When I can't use them all, I don't have that many upgrades towards foresight. But I think Kesh reaches out to try to get a better sense of this man's intentions, and she's just starts feeling fear. Just that like uncertainty is welling up inside of her, that concern that she just can't get a bead on what Carl is going to do. He's too like calm and collected, and there's just something about him that's unnerving her.
Question, Ben.
Okay.
I rolled a despair. Is something happening that I don't know? Or did you want to do something specific that we know about with that?
I'm not entirely certain. The only thing that's really coming to my mind is somehow this guy's forthrightness is somehow endearing. Because the World Between Worlds guy with the killer abs and long beard, very much a wheels within wheels kind of person. Then you've got Walther, who kind of knows you, but is also not really giving much. And then there's this guy, who does give off a faint hint of forciness, but is seeming to be entirely upfront.
We're gonna be jerks to the people that actually wanted to help us and be all like, oh, you're a charismatic human, to the person who probably wants to kill us. We are bad at this.
No, I mean, Hillary is. The rest of us
Yeah,
aren't
no,
necessarily.
Hillary is super bad. I think I will run with the joke I made about Inquisitor, like, oh, this guy's just like an aide or a reporter. He's snooping because that's what he's paid to do. You know, I'm not really fussed by that. So I'm going to kind of step forward and I'm going to hand some of the stuff that I was holding for Skip back up to Skip. And I will do that little courtly kind of half bow politely. Well, it's been very pleasant to meet you, and I'm sure we'll be able to get back to you with any sort of information you need, but we've got places to go, Carl. Maybe we'll meet you for calf. Do you like calf? This place serves very good calf, especially with a little tipple of brandy. But that's beyond the point. And he just smiles and beaming and just talking. Like, he's not going to say anything about what they have and what they know, but he's not really making any effort to be worried about this, which is not a good plan for an Inquisitor, but, you know, he doesn't know that.
That would be wonderful. If you do happen to run into any of these crystals for a holocron, please do think of me and pass them on. We don't want them to fall into the wrong hands, especially if they're going to be used against the
good of the people?
Yes, the good of the
Yes.
people. Yes, we wouldn't want them to be used against the Galactic Empire.
Oh, do you have a business flimsy or something? I'll keep your number close at hand.
And then pulls out the Cadu skin jacket. There's a interior pocket that he pulls out a business card from, hands it over. Oh yes, here. If you find anything, if you let me know, here. One last thing to mention. I am here because things, and he just sort of waves his hands, implying some ethereal thing, have brought me here. There might be others who want to talk to you or want to do something a bit more enthusiastic. They are not with me, but unless I find what I'm looking for, they most likely are going to be inquiring in their own special ways.
Well, we were called here because of the meat sticks, so I think we'll be going.
They are good, yes. Until next time, for the calf.
Hillary will do the Lando wave.
Yeah, for the calf.
For the calf.
Sorry we couldn't help you any further, officer.
Sure you didn't want the costume jewelry?
Thank you. No, I can find someone that's a bit more to my taste. And with a, he'll turn in a very precise manner and walk off.
Huh.
He seemingly towards the Imperial sector.
Well, he was a nice young man. I suppose he's an information gatherer, or maybe somebody's aide.
Skip is piling all the stuff back into the bags. He mentioned the books! He mentioned the books!
Yeah, he was all
Skip.
kinds of unsettling.
You think so?
Have you ever met an Imperial that wasn't unsettling?
Well, I mean, aside from the general, crisp lines that will, cut your eyes out with the starch, I mean, it's general. He seemed like a nice young man.
I've met plenty of incompetent Imperials, but they've never given me cause to be concerned. We shouldn't talk about this here.
Come on. If the Empire's looking for the holocron, we need to move faster.
Yes.
2 hours can wait.
Train.
To the lift.
Right, yeah. Gotta go catch that train that was in the background earlier.
Yeah, we missed the first one, but another one should be coming around like any moment, I imagine.
Yes.
So can they have a subway in Cato Nemoidia?
This one's overground. It's like a mag rail.
A tram? Pneumatic tubes?
Okay.
I love those, but not so much. I'm following along right. You are making your way to Dulkin's apartment.
Yep, and
Right.
likely, if Cobb has anything to say about it, fairly quickly, though not without, the appropriate amount of keeping an eye out for tails, etc.
A little bit of doubling back?
Only a little bit.
Could I get a group stealth check then?
I have nothing to contribute. I have 1 green in stealth.
I bring 4 green to the table.
I have 1 yellow, 2 green.
I have 2 green, 1 yellow. So the same thing that Rin has, just in a different order.
I think Koba should roll it, since Koba is leading the way. That's 1 yellow, 3 green, and 2 boost, or just 1?
Yeah, I'll go with 2 of those.
Okay.
And it is against a hard difficulty.
Wait, so somebody has 4 agility.
Me. Wait, no, sorry, I lied, I have 3, so it's 3. I play a lot of games in this system.
Then I think then it's just 1 yellow, 2 green,
1 yellow,
3
2 green.
boosts.
Yeah.
I apologize. Why don't we flip a point?
Probably a good idea.
Okay, yeah, flip a point. And what was the difficulty?
Yeah, it's just going to be 3 purple.
I was going to say it's hard, but how hard is it?
Oh, good news. 3 successes, 1 threat, and 1 triumph.
As you're going to Tika Dulkin's apartment buildings, you notice 2 swoop bike riders that seem to be tailing you. As one of them is getting close and you're ducking into a place to lose them, they get pretty close before they continue driving on, and that causes each of you to lose a strength.
Oh man, I should have used Sense Danger on Carl. I mean, it wouldn't have done anything against the despair, but still.
As you're doing this, since you were able to lose whatever tail that you had, what are you wanting to use the triumph for?
I was going to ask to not only lose whatever tail we have, but notice they were tailing and be able to identify, but we know that they're swoop bikers, apparently. So I'm open to suggestions.
I have a suggestion. Maybe it's a little
Sure.
too comical, but since we do stick out here, I'm thinking maybe, just by happenstance, another group that has maybe some sort of similar aliens. Like maybe there's like
A Barabel,
A Nemoidian.
a Green Mon Calamari.
yeah, exactly. Like
I was thinking the same
a
thing.
similar arrangement that's just similar enough to us that just for a moment there's like a little bit of getting lost in the crowd, and then they follow them instead.
Okay, I can totally go
And a
with that.
Zexto and a Bardotten.
Totally.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Actually, that does make a lot of sense, yes.
Can I maybe turn it so that we do still at least identify the swoop bikes? Like, there's something that we can at least remember for the future?
They've all got Nerf hide jackets on, because Swoop Gang, which really Swoop Gang, bikers, like interchangeable for mentality. You see a red stylized bird on the back of both of their Nerf jackets as they have these old school swoops that they're going down the pathways on. It pretty much looks like a Harley without wheels that's flying. Like, that's pretty much what their swoop bikes look like.
Okay.
Okay.
The leathers that they've got have a stylized red bird that looks like it's going to strike.
Okay. We continue on the shores of Patusan.
Yeah, we keep
Lead
keep
on,
moving.
Koba.
So, as you arrive there, you get there, you enter in the frequency, she buzzes you up, and this is more of it's a bigger to the side apartment building. The building itself has an internal courtyard that has a stairwell going up the side, and then in two corners, turbo lifts going up the entire length. But you could, if you want to, walk up the whole place, and it seems to be open all the way up. It's a 7-story tall apartment building. It looks to be metal-sided, sort of a brushed aluminum look to it. In the middle of the internal courtyard, that's pretty good. Like, I go with 100 meters to a side. In the very middle, it has a gazebo where you can see that also, like, it's large-ish for a gazebo, where you've got a small, like, coffee vendor set up. I'm assuming you jump into one of the turbo lift and head up.
On one hand, I've had enough of turbo lifts for the day.
Oh, yeah. Thank the scorekeeper. I was so worried that Koba was going to make us climb the stairs.
Well, to be fair, turbo lifts have been aggressive today. I almost would not mind the stairs.
My knees would.
You're welcome to take the stairs if you want, Hillary, but
No, I'll stay together.
the longer it takes us to go upstairs, the more time the Imperials have to surround the building.
Oh my goodness, just push the button.
Koba pushes the button.
So you get up to the 6th floor, and it's a pretty nice place. The hallways are pretty kept. It has a little bit of zigzagging to the walkway, so it's going to be really annoying to move furniture in and out, but it also baffles the hallway sounds pretty nice. So as you make your way to the suite, you pass a older Nemoidian who has a small, with a, like, sort of hunched over with a cane, walking, has a large brimmed open topped hat on, kind of like a banker's hat. Oh, it's lovely to see people here. Just continues on. You get to the door, and there's, I don't know, 682 on the door. Are you going to knock, or how are you?
Is there a doorbell?
Knock.
Kick the door down.
I mean, you could.
Skip's gonna sing.
Skip's
Alright.
not gonna sing.
So as you knock, the door's opened, and a Nemoidian who's about 30, 32 years old opens the door. Oh yes, Phineas said that you were going to be here. Come in, all of you. And pokes her head out into the hallway, looking side to side, and then steps out of the way for everyone to shuffle in.
Yeah, he said you may know something about these crystals we're looking for. Ward.
I'm not sure that I know anything about the crystals, but Ward, yes. I know a bit about Ward in his time here in Cato Nemoidia.
I feel like we're all just like looking at her expectantly.
What can you share with us?
And she closes the door.
All of you sit. Thank you for listening to this episode of Heroes of the Hydian Way. You can find show updates on Twitter at The Hydian Way, and you can find me, Ben, on Twitter at Deuterium Ice.
I'm on Twitter at Blue of the Ken. You can also find my Star Trek Adventures actual play, Endeavor Through the Maelstrom, on Twitter at Endeavor Show. Christine's on that one too.
Yay.
You're also doing a lot on Twitch these days.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of Twitch. Twitch.tv/SarkaKit.
And I'm Leslie at Leslie at GS. Still not really doing other stuff. Much. Making noise. Digital noise. Metaphorical noise. Unless you have notification noises for me, which would be weird. Then it would be literal noise. Leslie GS. Twitter. Stuff.
And I can be found on Twitter at 12th Night. That's 12th and Night with a K.
So, sorry, I thought you had more to plug.
No, I have Endeavor. We already talked about that, so I'm good.
And I'm Ren. You can find me on Twitter at Ren Apollo, like the bird and the god. I don't have an ego, I promise you. And you can also find one of my projects over on Twitch at Make Believe Live.
We are all at thehydianway.com, where you can find previous episodes.
You can find more episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Plus, you can help us out by rating, reviewing, and subscribing.
We are also on Facebook as The Hydian Way. And you can holocom us at heroes@thehydianway.com.
If you like what we do and you want to support the show, you can find us at patreon.com/thehydianway.
Or you can send the team some calf. It probably will not have the brandy in it, like Hillary wants, at ko-fi.com/thehydianway.
Other liquors are available. Kit Starfinder. Smuggler extraordinaire.
Don't sue us, Paizo.
Who's Paizo? Is that one of the huts?
That sounds like an alias.
Maybe it skips alias. I'm sorry, were we doing an actual show here tonight?
That's why I shut my mouth and stopped, because I was like, we could keep this bit going forever. I'm just going to shut my mouth.
I mean, fair. And
Deep
yeah,
breath.
this usually lasts until I get my breath back. I mean, fair. All right. We probably should get this thing going.
Yeah, we
Since
could honestly
we're coming
hold...
back from a force vision. Yeah.
Yeah, we could honestly have a full episode just talking about this. But
Which we will at some point.
okay.
All right, pen's out. I'm ready.
He's probably a little on edge from the forcey, visiony, whatever that just happened.
I didn't think you had 4C. I thought you had... Can't even finish it. Sorry.
And that's why he's on edge. He didn't think he had 4C either.
You hear that, folks? Not Leslie who made that joke.
Yep, probably.
After the long pause where Koba refuses to answer that last question and Skip finally gives up and walks away.
I'm sorry, I think
Or-
Brandon was actually going to answer, and I just didn't hear it until I started talking.
Oh.
Or we just cut away and let the audience wonder
Alright, yeah.
what words were exchanged.
Mysterious.
Bum, bum, bum.
Or just low growls of frustration.
Yeah.
No, the entire spread that was on the table is completely paid for.
Bye.
See, that's really why we should have left Skip at the table, is so Skip could clean up. Quote unquote.
Did Phineas
I don't
cover
know,
all that?
Skip's pockets are full
No.
of stolen scones and things.
Yeah, you just look really lumpy.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I have so many feelings about this.
Would you like to know more?
Please turn the page over.
In the very middle, it has a gazebo where you can see that also, like, it's large-ish for a gazebo where you've got a small, like, coffee vendor.
I
Set
attack
up.
the gazebo.
As you're saying that, I'm typing in, I call out to the gazebo.
There we go. I'm glad we're all on the same page here. Okay, just kidding. I don't do anything.
Please don't have the gazebo
Okay.
eat us.
You get a point for the reference, though.
Thank you.
High five,
I
Ron.
apparently lose a point one.
I will tell you on the break.
Okay, fair enough.